So how did you know whenever you got into this business? How was it that you were like, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do to retirement until I'm an old lady on the porch sipping tea. What is it?
I think for me, I grew up, my dad was a custom home builder. So he and my mom ran a company. So I grew up in it, and I can remember it was comical, and I can say it now, the business is closed, but at 9, thank you for calling Glenlar Homes. I was coached on how to answer that phone. You've got to smile when you answer the phone, and you need to make sure you have the details and, the names, and it carried on. And so that was the beginning of this love and passion for what I do.
Your parents made you work for what you had.
100%.
Yeah.
And they made, me understand how business works and how professionalism will change the whole entire course for you. And it stood out. And it opened doors for opportunities for growth. And I had some really amazing mentors along the way. Outside of my family home, outside of that family business, I was really fortunate for those relationships who took the time to educate me. And
in business or title or both?
Well, in title specifically, I can genuinely say that I've had to go back, and not had to, it's been a pleasure to go back and say, hey, I wanted to thank you for, what you did for me as a 16 and 17-year-old for a summer internship, because it completely altered the course of everything for me. And it gave me a skill set that I was passionate about, and I had no idea that I was going to love. And I think that, that moment, watching the buzz in the office and watching how fast paced and how important it was, what it meant for someone, that's the biggest expense of your lifetime.
Yeah.
And the most emotional when you think about that.
Right.
First time, brand new married couple, first time home. There's something personal attached to it. And you can't just be just anyone going into the industry. You have to have knowledge. You have to have the desire to continue to grow and to be able to retain what is coming down the pipeline and then apply it every single day. And it is ever changing. I mean, I've watched rules change drastically from then to now. So I don't know. I would say I was 16 years old. It was the first time that I landed in a, corporate setting in the title industry that I went, oh yeah, this is it. Mm-hmm. I love this. And it didn't matter if it was being the receptionist, sending out commitments on a typewriter, or whether it was funding or closing. You definitely find your passion in it. And it's the industry that if you get in and it's not for you, you will exit promptly and you will never look backwards. But if you get in it and you don't run, you are in it for life because it's part of who you are.
Yeah.
Because it's a helping, and it's being able to communicate and collaborate and do all of these really cool things with people for the greater good, for something that's really, really cool. I don't know. That's the best way I know how to explain that.
Mm-hmm. I started at a builder title company. So I worked on the behind the scenes. I wasn't very much involved with communication with the customer and the buyer. It wasn't until I switched over to the company where we met, and it was a resale title company. And at that point, I got to see the happiness, the first time home buyers and the excitement that comes, and then, the downside to selling a home as well. And that's where it got passionate for me, like just being a part of that moment.
Someone else's excitement.
Yes. Somebody else's journey.
Yeah. And helping to make their dream come true and creating this special moment for them and this milestone. And then really moving into sales. I was at a space on my escrow journey where I was questioning, do I want to do this? Is this what I want to do? I've been doing it for a while now. I wasn't finding as much joy in it. Mm-hmm. And then when this sales position opened up, I thought, oh my gosh, this lit a fire in me that I'm like, I'm right where I need to be. I was passionate, excited about work. I came in and, I have a job to do, and be that part of that is being the office cheerleader, which I feel very,
And we are so grateful.
I
We
feel
are
that
so
role
very
very
grateful.
great. But yeah, being in this role has awakened a passion that I hadn't felt in a while.
Right. And so I think all of us, when we started in an industry, like you don't just walk in and start making the big bucks and reflecting back on it. You have to go through the dirt, like grunt work. And so it sounds like that's what you did. It's like you did the grunt work just to learn it, like to learn the industry. And then now you're really shining at your customer service and, client communication and all of those things that you're doing.
Oh, I remember, my first position in the title company and going, what is a MUD? What is this?
What's
a deed?
Yeah.
What is a deed of trust, or what's a note? You don't need to know what that is. You just make copies, record, get the packages back to the lender. And I'm going,
I think that's what sets people apart, though, as far as management style, right?
Yeah.
So we're all going to end in this industry at some point. Who's going to pick up? Who's going to take over? If no one stops to teach your people coming in,
absolutely.
Then what?
That's so funny is I remember when we moved out into this area that I was really looking for my place. Like I was successful out, in the Magnolia area and knew everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could rip off and duplicate that business I created there and do it again anywhere.
Right.
But what I found was that I had a deep passion for helping other people and not just people in business, but more of like realtors.
Yes.
Because I know what it's like to go through the grunt work. And you have to have that person to lean on, like that mentor, that source. And it was just like, I felt really compelled to give back and to do that. So that's why I started the team, because I was like, number one, I cannot manage all this business by myself.
Right.
You have to have, like you said, you cannot do it by yourself.
Right.
There's so much that goes into it that we don't think about every day. And so I love that you take passion in helping your coworkers and the reason why, because I so empathize with that.